All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sergeant Anaya. We turn back now to meteorologist Craig Moeller joining us again with more on this weather alert day forecast. And Craig, how long is the snow that is still out there going to stick around?
Well, the snow that's out there on the ground, we're going to see temperatures warming later this afternoon. So if you've got heavier snow, it may last a bit longer into the day. I think some of the kids off to the north and northwest will have some snow to play with this morning, certainly. I'll tell you, areas south near the coast, parts of Virginia Beach, where we only saw about an inch or so last night, that stuff's going to be melting off and washing away as we already have a lot of rain and freezing rain in the mix. Same deal down into North Carolina. Winter weather advisory continues for Virginia Beach and northeast North Carolina. Our winter storm warning technically, and I just checked this again because it's kind of a little head scratcher, technically until 1 o'clock this afternoon. That's what the initial winter storm warning was set to run through. We're almost done with the snow, though. I'm telling you, the mix is moving out pretty quickly, and shortly after sunrise, we're going to be seeing most places dry. Then, you know, it's still, I guess, prudent that we leave that warning in place only because some of those secondary roads are very messy. We're going to be hearing more from Marta in a little bit here. But, you know, you got to still be careful with your travel, and that's why we're going to be here extending our coverage and letting you know exactly who's dealing with the most snow and where the roads are still going to be a little tricky as we go through the morning. But later today, highs into the upper 30s. You see how it's all moving out? We had some mixing back and forth. I told you it's a pretty complex timeline. Last evening between 8 and 10:30, we saw our first flakes. By 11 o'clock, pretty much everyone across the region was seeing snow. That was all the way down to Nags Head and Manteo. As we went to 1 o'clock, snow started changing over, so we saw the snow changes to freezing rain for Virginia Beach and northeast North Carolina. That started to knock down some of the levels in those areas. Then as we got to 2 o'clock, Norfolk and Virginia Beach, well, we started to see a transition from that mix and freezing rain back to snow. Still rain for northeast and eastern North Carolina. And by 3 o'clock, we saw the mix actually extending all the way to portions of the peninsula. So we're going, oh, man, that warmer air is coming farther inland. But we were also seeing some areas transitioning back to snow. It's been like herding cats this morning. Wait, snow, rain, mix, sleet, you know, back and forth. Now it's kind of winding down as a mix in many locations. Still a little bit of snow on the back edge. You see that mix down into Chesapeake and across Virginia Beach. It's been mostly a wet mix. I wanted to show you some of the storm reports that have come in. City of Suffolk at the airport, 2 inches of snow there. In Kempsville, we had an inch reported. You can see this morning at Ocean View about 1.5 inches. So those snow totals, we were talking 1 to 2 inches across these areas in the south side. We've hit those totals. You're just waking up to kind of a slushy mess versus that nice covering that maybe you were hoping for. Lightfoot, more snow up that way, just under 3 inches reported. How about Wachapreague up on the eastern shore? 5 inches. So we did get that heavier when we talked about that 3 to 5 inch range, mainly off in this general area off to the northeast. Or northwest, rather. We've seen that. The forecast is actually verified pretty well. You can see around Raleigh Terrace there, we had for Hampton 2.5 inches reported, and finally out in Wakefield about 2.5 as well. All right, our futurecast shows that snow moving out by 7, 8 o'clock. We should be drying out and then eventually clearing out with the skies. It is going to turn colder tonight, and I am concerned with refreezing, so we'll talk more about that. Our morning lows that we've seen have generally been at or a little below freezing. Elizabeth City at 32, 30 in Virginia Beach, 30 in Hampton. This is since midnight. So again, it has been cold. Wind chills today are going to be close to 30. As we go through the afternoon, you'll need to bundle up. Here's the full forecast here, and I've got to change those red banners, but the forecast information is correct. So obviously our weather alert day ends this morning, and then Sunday, sunshine 39, 46 on Monday, and temperatures cool again middle of next week, getting warmer heading towards next weekend. We're going to take a break, and more of our special coverage continues.